G'day mate, you had some questions about how I installed the phone charger in my bike so that it only switches on when the bike is running and won't drain the battery when it's parked. I've taken the time during lockdown to reinstall the phone charger, so have a look and let me know if you have any questions. There's also a full list of parts and tools in the description. Let's start with a game plan. We've got the motorcycle, we've got the battery, we've got the phone charger, and we've got the relay. We're going to tap the tail light and run a wire from it to the relay. We're going to run wires from the battery to the relay, and we're going to run wires from the phone charger to the relay. Let's get them all hooked up and then we'll go through how it works. Okay guys, I've stripped the bike and removed the battery, and I've gone all the way back and removed the tail light, and I've come across these three wires. Brown is the earth, green and brown is the brake light, purple and black is the tail light. This is the light that switches on when the ignition starts. So that's going to be our starting point. Just soldering in the blue wire onto the tail light terminal. I've slipped the rubber sleeve back over the terminal, and now I'll slip the wire into the nylon protection sheath. Now I'll just heat shrink the end of that to tidy it up. And then we can feed that back through the bike, back to where the relay will be placed. I got a really good tip years ago that was, instead of using black zip ties, use coloured ones, so that if you ever have to dismantle your work or pull something apart, you know exactly what was yours and what was factory. So now I'm under the seat where the relay will sit. I'm just going to clean up the ends of this cable, clamp on the terminal and slip on some heat shrink to tidy up this nylon sleeve. Alright, now I'm just figuring out how I'm going to insert the fuse holder. It's good to have the fuse holder as close to the battery as possible, because the fuse will then protect all the wires downstream from shorting out. So in this case I'm going to cut the positive terminal much shorter than the negative and solder the fuse block in place. Then I strip the wires and clamp terminals on the end to meet the battery. Next I terminate the wires that run from the phone charger back to the relay. Again, I just clamp some spade bit connectors on there to match the phone charger and just tidy up the ends with heat shrink and a label. Now I reinsert the battery, but I don't connect the wires. I just run them through so that I can get their positioning and their lengths, and then we'll connect the relay at the other end before I reconnect the battery. Feed the wire through the bike, making sure it's not going to rub against anything, it's not going to touch anything hot, it's not going to get pinched. And then we tidy up the end of the cable that runs to the battery with a nice little label so we can see what's going on and the appropriate plugs to go into the relay. And then we repeat the process with the cable that goes to the phone charger. And then we get to the technical part where we have to hook up all this wiring. We have got the positive terminal from the tail light with the smudge label that really annoys me. We have got the positive and negative terminal from the battery. And we've got the positive and negative from the phone charger. Now I've had to make this weird double adapter end of the phone charger cable here because I've only taken the positive from the tail light. That tail light cable still needs a negative to go back to the negative terminal of the battery somehow. So now we've got 3 positives and 3 negative terminals. Time to install the relay. The first step is to connect the negative cables. That way all our earths are heading back to the negative terminal and we know that that is sound. So here I will plug those two together, and then I'm going to slip on a little bit of heat shrink just to stop those from vibrating loose or coming apart. Done. They're locked in. All these terminals are numbered on the relay, and so we just need to connect the right bits to the right ones. So the first one is going to be the earth for the tail light cable. So that's the earth goes on. And then the tail light goes on. Then the positive out heading to the phone charger, so it goes on there. And then the positive from the battery in. So you'll notice we're only acting as a gatekeeper on the positive cable. There's no need to act as a gatekeeper on the negative. Alright, we need to tidy these up a little bit. Time for another green zip tie. Alright, now we can zip lock that under this cross member under the seat and she'll be good to go. Now that we've got it all hooked up, let's just run through exactly how the relay works and what's happening. The wire from the positive terminal of the battery is always charged. Now, it has voltage, but it has no current because it's not completing the circuit back to the negative terminal. When we turn on the motorcycle, current runs from the tail light through the relay and back to the negative terminal. That then connects the terminals inside the relay and enables that charge from the battery to run up through the phone charger and back to the negative terminal, enabling the current to flow. Now before we put the bike back together, let's give it a bit of a test run. Okay, let's have a look in here as we open up and turn it on. Blue light is good, we've got power. Let's start her up and see if it stays. This might get noisy. Hey. Still got it. And when we turn it off, it should go off. Bingo.